Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This is a different kind of video today. We're going to be talking about another creator. This is a newer channel you may have seen pop up lately in your feed, run by a guy who calls himself Dividend Talks. Now this guy, in less than a year, has put up a mind-blowing amount of content. That's over 600 individual videos posted, and he started his channel in March of 2023. So that's 10 months, and hey look, he's got up to 20,000 subs. That's impressive. Interesting, right? It's quite a hustle, but unfortunately the manner in which this guy is building his channel is highly unethical, and in my opinion raises potential legal liabilities for the guy running the Dividend Talks channel regarding plagiarism and copyright. He has built his YouTube channel with stolen content and is now profiting off of that stolen content. This isn't a video I want to make. I want to talk about investing in dividend growth stocks, but his channel's become big enough and the offenses have become so blatant and egregious that I felt compelled to bring awareness to the broader community. Now, if you're a creator, I would suggest browsing his video page to see if he's ripped off any of your thumbnails. I have several examples of him doing this to myself and others, and I'm going to show those to you. Now take note of this thumbnail he is using lately with the fire and the red arrow and the distraught man. And hey, look at this one. You might think that's one of my videos, huh? I want to first distinguish that there is a difference between drawing inspiration from something and outright plagiarism, right? And here is a good description I found at bartleby.com. It says, an important distinction between inspiration and plagiarism is that an inspired writer adds something original to their work, even if it draws on ideas from existing work. A plagiarist, on the other hand, merely copies someone else's work. So as creators, it's normal to look around and take note of what others are doing, what's working, and figure out how you can incorporate some of those ideas yourself. Perfectly acceptable. I do it all the time. But what Dividend Talks does goes beyond taking inspiration. Here are several examples of this being done to myself and other creators. What he does is he looks for a successful video, then he makes his wish.com version of the same exact thumbnail and often rips the same exact title. For example, here on my video about Johnson & Johnson and the Kenvue split I did 6 months ago, a month after releasing this, Mr. Dividend Talks decided to basically take the same thumbnail, make a slight change to it, copy my title, change one or two words, and then present this like this is his own work, because he saw that it did well for me. Additionally, I believe part of that strategy in making a thumbnail like this is to mislead the casual viewer, you guys, into thinking that they're clicking on one of my videos. I don't know how else to take it. Maybe I'm being paranoid. But of course, you, the viewer, you can decide if you think that this is cool of content creators to blatantly copy something like this. And he's done it as recently as 2 weeks ago to myself. Now here's one where he ripped off the channel Dividend Data. This is a huge channel, way bigger than little old me. Ripped the same exact thumbnail, Buffett in the middle, Home Depot and Lowe's, and the red verses in the middle. And then he was bold enough to copy the guy's title, word for frickin' word, after blatantly ripping off the thumbnail. This is plagiarism. This isn't drawing inspiration from something. Now, I've never talked to Dividend Data before myself. I don't even know him, but I respect his channel, and I respect him as a creator. Mr. Dividend Talks rips off smaller creators too. Remember that fire thumbnail I mentioned earlier? He actually ripped this off from a channel called Fiscal Philosophy, and I checked both of their channels the first time this style thumbnail was used. The black background, the fire, company logo on the left, two red arrows in the middle. Then he just swapped out this guy who must be Mr. Fiscal Philosophy for this stock image. And as you can see, ripping off the Fiscal Philosophy thumbnail has worked out so well for him that he's incorporated this and appropriated this as his own style now, I guess, and he's just using it over and over and over. Now, maybe many of you as viewers look at this and just kind of shrug, but understand the work that goes into making a thumbnail, putting a video together, and releasing it. This is a grind. And there's a lot more going on than I think the average viewer realizes. I mean, think about it. He is pushing out 4 videos a day. It's impossible for him that he's being entirely original, right? He's not being at all original, I'll tell you that. I struggle myself to put out a video or 2 a week, but my time is limited. I have a job, I have a family, all of that, other priorities. I think I figured out how he's doing this, however, okay? See, this is the Dividend Talks channel in a nutshell. It is the wish.com version of the Dividendology channel. The Dividend Talks guy, he loves Dividendology stuff. Like, he seriously loves it. I could find several instances of him straight up copying Dividendology's thumbnails. This is one, here is another, where he's not even trying to make something look like his own. Just super lazy, really pathetic. Dividend Talks, dude, you are a bitch. You really are, dude. Now, the Dividend Talks is such a boner for the Dividendology channel. He loves it so much that he was even one of his Patreon members in the past. See, I don't watch Dividend Talks content, but I understand his videos revolve entirely around a spreadsheet that he knowingly, admittingly took from the Dividendology Patreon page. That's how we know he was a member. And he uses these sheets to evaluate dividend stocks in his videos. And I suppose if he was just using the sheet and giving credit to Dividendology in the process, that would be one thing, right? But Mr. Dividend Talks has been so bold to actually sell the Dividendology spreadsheet as his own work, using his videos to push people to his buymeacoffee.com page, where he's selling this spreadsheet for 60 British pounds. Now, in American dollars, I looked this up, that's $76.25. You can get this on the Dividendology Patreon for $8. And again, the guy isn't even trying to hide that this is not the same exact sheet. He changed a couple colors, some wording's the same in there. This is Dividendology's spreadsheet, blatantly. He's selling it like it's his own. Now, Mr. Dividend Talks has been given multiple chances to make this right. He, at one point, about a month ago, said he was going to change his spreadsheet and stop ripping thumbnails. But he has since doubled down on his shadiness, and really, the guy is just a massive scammer. I believe his video scripts are primarily just AI generated, and he fills in some Dividendology spreadsheets and reads them off in one take and just floods the algorithm again and again with this wish.com really lame rip-off nonsense bullshit. And I think it really should just be stopped. YouTube should demonetize his channel. Buymeacoffee.com should consider shutting down his page. And if I was Dividendology, I'd probably be on the phone with an attorney over there in the UK, because so far he has sold at least 117 of the stolen spreadsheets for, let's say, a conversion of $75 over the last 10 months. He's brought in nearly $9,000. I guess crime does pay. And that's just stolen spreadsheet revenue. This doesn't count the AdSense money he's making from his YouTube videos that rip off other creators as well, myself included. This guy is basically a massive scumbag. If you are subscribed to him, do yourself a favor and unsubscribe. If someone is willing to cheat and scam their way to success, what else are they lying to you about? Do you honestly believe for a second, for example, someone who unapologetically steals like this is being truthful about these business degrees he claims he holds? But this isn't me hating on competing channels either. So there's so many great dividend investing channels out there, wonderful creators, and other ones that were impacted by Dividend Talks. And there's others like, Mark Rosen and Ryan Williams, Russ Dapper Dividends, Dividend Diplomats, Dividend Dude, Darth Dividend. There's also the One Penny at a Time podcast with Harris, which, by the way, I was on a few weeks back. You should check that out on Spotify. These are quality creators. You should check them out. And there are others too. I'm probably forgetting somebody. But there are so many, right? But there's also some that need to be avoided because they frankly lack the morals to be thought of as an authority on anything. Would you listen to a podcast of someone who was morally bankrupt that you knew, for example? I know I wouldn't. Look, I've presented my evidence here. Mr. Dividend Talks, he's welcome to make his rebuttal video justifying these actions that he's unequivocally done. I would love to see it, but I'm not holding my breath. If you are a creator he has ripped off and you would like to add your evidence to this mountain of evidence we have, look, I'm looking to bring this attention to Google, YouTube, buymeacoffee.com, or whoever, right? This is the last time you're going to see me make a video about this guy. I don't really want to give him any more attention. He's getting plenty of it. Sometimes you do need to use your powers for good. We can't let people rip off others without consequences. So let's just get back to dividend investing. If I was starting over today, I would make a 10-stock portfolio in this exact manner described in the next video. Go ahead and click into that. And until next time, my friends, keep investing.